Welcome everyone. It's Feature Friday and we have new features to announce today. In fact, I just took a peek I knew this was rolling out this week. I don't know if it may have been live for a day or two because we obviously wanted to test it before. But if you have not seen these things, you're going to be very, very excited. So let's go over. I'm going to share my screen here. And yes, where I am is in the copy pack section. So you can, in fact, let me show you how to get there if you are in your normal dashboard. You can get there by going to copy packs right here. You can also go there, I believe, through the promo packs, or if you make a digital product at the end, it will ask you if you want to do this. So let's start with a new one. Let's say I am a coaching moms with kids with discipline problems, because I would be a really good coach for that. Do not take my parenting advice. And what I want to do even before we get started here, because so anytime you use the copy packs, you're going to describe something that you want to run copy around, and that's going to be here, is you might notice a yellow screen here that says your most popular options. That is going to appear and it's going to be different for everyone because it's going to pull up the ones you run the most. So you have those favorite ones, and sometimes you're like, I don't even remember what that's called. You can go up there and you can see that product ideas, informational blog posts make sense. I run those all the time. And the content pizzazz makers, which is one of my personal favorites too. But let's say you're like, okay, I want to go into social content, but I can't remember what creative analysis, I don't even know what this one is. So let's see this little thing that pops up when I hover over it. It's a little eye. I'm going to click on that and it should show me a preview of what it looks like. So that because I'm always like a visual person, like, oh yeah, that's the one I want. And one of the cool things that's going to be happening over the next few weeks is we're going to try to be making some of these that look a little bit similar to look a little different with some imagery and that kind of stuff, so that it's a more, oh, that's exactly the one I want. So engagement posts, in fact, let's run that one because I've never seen it. So there is some new ones in here, by the way. Engagement post ideas, let's look at that one. And here's what when it runs, it's gonna look like that. It looks similar to the other one. And then, Facebook post picture, tweetable.
I like the new bait one at the top.
Which one?
New engagement bait posts.
Oh, let's do that one instead. I want to see that. I'm gonna unclick the social calendar. I'm running the Pinterest descriptions because I am suspicious it might be different. So let's go ahead and run those while we talk for a minute. So each one of those now has the little eye that you can hover over if you want to just a preview, if you're trying to remember. I believe I'll get the full story, but I think after you've run something 2 or 3 times, it's going to show up in the top section. And it's going to be like your top 4. It's never going to be like the top 400 that you use or something else. It'll be like rotating through the top 4 of what you run. The little icons for the preview are there so that you can kind of look through and see what's going on. And then let's look at some of these new ones. Let's see. I must have some other, I must have had some other things checked. In fact, that's something I'm going to talk to them about, because if you don't know they're checked, then you're like sitting here waiting for them.
Like all of 2 minutes, poor us, you know.
I know. I mean, it is a really rough world.
I know, right?
This is why I can't give parenting advice, because I always tell my kids, you have such a rough life. I feel so sorry for you.
Yeah. Do you hear the sarcasm? No? Let me assure you it's there.
I'm feeding you, I'm clothing you,
Yeah.
entertaining you even.
Yeah. No, I'm always amazed at, like, because if you've done all this beforehand, especially if you've been through Rachel's programs and stuff, there's a lot of work you do to get the posts ready and all that. And then this is like boom, boom, boom. I'm like, I like giggle every time I run one. I'm like, oh, it's so easy.
And they're like, it took me a whole 90 seconds to write that blog post.
Why is this taking so long?
I must have a ton over there checked. So I'm sorry, I should have looked at, oh, here, I think we got one now.
You know, it might be good if we could have a way to uncheck, like say, no, 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 stop. I didn't mean all this. Sorry,
that
my
is
mistake.
very true. I will
Yeah.
mention that the 5-day
Yeah.
challenge fan. Here it
Because
is.
I'm kind of guilty of this myself. I'm like,
Engagement.
oh, that's what I
All
checked
right.
last week.
Ooh, so this is the new engagement bait post ideas. So what's your superpower when it comes to coaching moms with discipline problems? Look, it even has emojis in here. Consistency is key. Patience is my middle name. Creativity and flexibility is room. Firm boundaries. I don't even know what FTW means.
Oh, I
I'm
do. You
old.
don't want to say that. It's swearing on the internet.
Oh, see,
F the
we'll
world.
go back to AI and tell it, no, no, no.
It's called F the world, right?
No,
Okay.
in this case, it means for the win.
Oh, okay,
well,
good.
it's not too, but it can be taken. See, depends on where you come from. I can tell you a
All
story
right,
about
so I
poor Stu
learned. See,
McLaren
I
and
learned
me.
that something every single day. Now no one's going to be missing me.
Stu McLaren did something called FML, which is a founding members launch, and he teaches it everywhere. And he's huge, right, where he is, and he's very like innocent, right? Really nice guy. So he did a founding member launch, and he said, "We're going to call it the FML," and he posted it everywhere, and everybody's like, "No, stop, just do that." And then we're like, "No, this could be fun, right?" And it's F my life is what it means in most worlds, right?
Oh my gosh. All right, so we're gonna to go with the PG version.
Yeah, so I'm apparently more jaded than you guys.
We learn
Or
something
more
about
worldly,
him every
maybe?
time too. That's awesome. So then the post idea is timeout or positive reinforcement because we all want to know. I actually love that idea, like thinking about like juxtaposing like the different choices. Obviously, if you have one way that you're headed than the other, just giving people options ready to see who has the most points, positive reinforcement, consistent boundaries, open communications, patience, learning opportunities. How many points did you collect? So obviously you might need to change it a little bit, but like awesome ideas. Had not even thought of some of those. How do you handle discipline issues like a boss with moms and with moms and kids? Nailing the positive reinforcement, finding the humor in tough situations. That sums up my parenting right there. Using consequences effectively, empowering moms with new strategies. So you can see there's really a super fun things there. Let's see. Create here the creative analogy. Why can I not say that word today? Post. Coaching moms with kids with discipline problems is like being a detective trying to uncover the root of cause of the behavioral issues. Super interesting because I do a lot of my kids all had sensory processing issues. So like one of my most popular videos of all time on Facebook many years ago was basically talking about, is it sensory or are they being bad? Because if you've ever experienced a kid with sensory issues, a lot of times you just thought they were bad kids until you figured out the root cause of their issues. So I love that because I'm sure that's not just about sensory, but thinking about low blood sugar or if they're not paying attention and that kind of stuff. So guiding moms through discipline challenge, like navigating a maze with twists and turns at every corner. Awesome. All sorts of fun stuff. Oh, here's be creative, be snarky. Let's see what snarky sounds like. It's as effective as herding cats in a hurricane. Trying to get through these kids is like teaching jellyfish to ride a bike. It's trying to teach a squirrel to sit for a portrait. All right, you're going to get some serious snark here. It's as simple as teaching goldfish to fetch a stick.
Okay, I like these.
it's as futile as trying to teach a rock to swim. So we'll see. We'll see how useful these are. But I do love the idea of right now we're in a situation where you've all seen Rachel's basically social media post spreadsheet, which of course we're making for ourselves. And so like the other afternoon, I like sat down and wrote, 55 descriptions. And like at about I'm really good. I'm pretty good at writing after doing it for 20 years every day. But like at about 12, you start like phoning it in. So I love things like this that you run it, it stops you in your tracks, resets you, and kind of resets the creativity and kind of gives you a little perspective of where you are. Because quite honestly, when that 13th post goes out in 3 weeks and I see it, I'm going to be like, yeah, that kind of sounded like I phoned it in. I'd much rather have like, come in here and reset myself with some creative ideas to go forth and conquer. So let's see if there was anything else we ran. All right, okay, watch the Pinterest. It will be different soon. So in fact, let's see. Oh, it actually is different, but it's going to be better, more improved. I was using these all the time. And what it used to say is like subject colon and then description colon. And what was happening is I was copying everything, pasting into Pinterest and having to backspace over the subject and the description. So he took Val, who does all this amazing stuff, took that out for me. But he's also doing something else in the Pinterest thing that will be coming out soon to watch for. And by the way, that was like when you just looked at that seemed totally reasonable, in these things until we used them over and over again. And then it occurred to me, why am I backspacing like every time I copy and paste a description in here? So if you come across things that when you're using it, you're like, you know what, like it doesn't need to be this way. Shoot me a message on this intercom button right here with your suggestion and let me know, because these are the type of things that like it makes it easier for everyone once we find some of these things that we didn't even think about at first. And I strategically opened the intercom button because I finally, after Googling and like I can't even tell you how many hours this took, and it's stupid easy once I figured out it, but I changed out these 3 things underneath the send the message when you open up intercom. So that get started with page wheel 7-minute video that I made last week, that's right here. And if you go to it, in fact, I'll show it to you in just a second. I want to show you something else that's there. And then more information about the Page Wheels Live trainings. So that talks about how to get the calendar, what the link is, what the schedule is, all that kind of stuff, and then a link to our Facebook community. So all those things. So if you're new here and you don't know these things, go explore it. If you have a friend that's joining, let them know that all those things are right here. So let's go to this one. Are you guys seeing my screen still with the blog post? All right. So this is the how to get started video. It's about 7 minutes. And then below this, I have timestamps for everything that is happening in this video. And look at this. This is new too. All of these things are then linked to more information about how to do that. So like upload your own PDF, that's going to open into a new little tutorial about how to upload a PDF. And so this is the beginning of linking basically the knowledge base of information within a usability thing, which is one of the things I know that you guys have been wanting to do. So like here, I'm on like second 29, I add my brand colors. So if you need to know more information about adding your brand colors, you can go there, and choosing a font style, you can go to the other link there. So that is amazing. And you can see we're almost to the end of that. In fact, all of this happened since I went to bed last night. And then scroll down. I've been a busy bee last day or two. So the next step is, this is Feature Friday from 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. I can't remember. When we went through like part 2, I thought I had lost this video, but we recovered it. And it's about 20 minutes of basically, once you've made a product and you slept on it and you want to make changes, these are kind of the most common changes that we often go back. And then I also talk about how all of this is editable and all that kind of stuff. So this is here as a second part, but if you want to go to this, let me click on this so you can see it. Are you seeing our favorite page wheel edits? Okay, so this is basically the second video with all the timestamps below of those kind of our most frequent things that we edit. And we will be adding the links to those as well. So we're getting really close to having this kind of in a super usable way. All
That's
right.
really good. That's really good.
So let me see if there's any questions.
So those are like backlinks, right?
Yes, they're backlinks. They're internal links if you want to.
There we go. Blogger
Which are
talk.
very good for SEO, but actually the reason why they're good for SEO is because they are a kind of a signal. If I can sit on my SEO pulpit here, is there a quality signal to Google that what our content is actually useful, because people, it refers to what we're teaching and people are linking back and forth and clicking through and that kind of stuff. So
Super
all
useful.
sorts of goodies. Any questions or any issues this week? I know I just sent a message to Cynthia, who I don't know if she's here or just her bot is here, but I'll be working on your stuff this morning, Cynthia, when we're done.
I'm here. I'm on an old laptop that you wouldn't be able to see me anyway, and I'm in my jammies. You wouldn't want to see me.
That's so not true. All right. Anybody have anything that is on their mind or questions or anything like that? We've solved all the world's problems. I love
We're all
this.
experts, apparently.
Yeah. Let me just give you a little kind of overview of this week, just by, just to let you know, because I've been talking to a few of you through customer service. Is earlier this week, they pushed out a fix for one of the issues, and it broke several other things. I know this is shocking to us all. And so what we thought was going to be a very productive week to get some things cleared out ended up to be like SOS, everybody, all hands on deck to figure out what happened. Yesterday about noontime, we think we got the storm under control. But for those of you who I've been talking to this week, I really appreciate your patience. I have not seen any like big glaring issues as far as things stopping you from creating anything since yesterday about noontime. So if you do see anything that's a little bit odd, like Cynthia did, go ahead and send it to me in Intercom, and we're going to tackle those. And then hopefully over the weekend, it will stabilize. Everything will be good. And then we'll be back onto doing the productive things we thought we were going to get to this week. So I am learning so much patience with the software situation. Because I was like, literally, like last week we had like, one or two little things pop up on customer service, but it was such a glorious week. And then all of a sudden.
I for one appreciate the amount of work you guys are putting into this though, because not being super techie, I'm techie enough, I can manage, but I've been on softwares where like the support and
I've been there
makes
too.
you want to cry. Yeah.
Well, I just wish because I would love a week where everybody's like, everything's working.
It'll happen one day and we'll celebrate.
But yes, we do. The larger fonts so let's talk a little bit about that, because this is a pretty big deal. And it will explain some of the issues that you might see. So those of you who've been founding members who've been with us for a while, it looked very different. It acted very different in the early days. And so when we upgraded to the 2.0, a lot of that code came into, let's say a potluck, a very delicious potluck. But things like fonts and font size were like interacted with differently in different parts of the software. And so one of the things that when we're like, well, we would like, when you choose like a 12-point font, we'd like to see it all the way through. And like we're like, yeah, like we'll just go change it. And they're like, oh, that's gonna be really hard. So one of the things that's happening right now is they're going in and creating like kind of these pockets of individualness into a cohesive system across the board, which is why when they make one change somewhere, it could potentially cause all sorts of things elsewhere. But deep breath, deep cleansing breaths. In the end, it's going to be worth it. So, so the whole editor is kind of a situation you've seen over the last month or two, how that same editor has gone into almost every section. And now behind the scenes, it should be a situation where we'll be able to add some features to that editor that you'll be able to use across the board as well. But we're not quite there yet. But the font size, the font colors, the ability to move stuff around, that kind of stuff is going to be, is all within the future if we can get like the jankiness, I believe I used in one of your emails lately, the jankiness down. So,
So is that the technical term, jankiness?
I think that's definitely the technical term. It's better than some of the other not so technical words I might have uttered under my breath.
Yeah, like my mug. I
Exactly.
think too that we,
It wasn't
if you're not
PG Holly. It was,
Yeah.
yeah.
if you're not a founding member, you don't realize that like copy packs and product thing were actually two completely separate, coded differently type things that
Mhm.
when we managed to get our hands on the copy packs, we're like, you can't have these back.
Yeah.
So now they're trying to make it so that we can have them.
Well, and then remember you were editing in a window that like you weren't editing on the
connected
product, you were
to the-
editing a window that then you'd watch to see if the edits came out.
And it wasn't in real time. It would be like,
No.
oh
So
man.
when I look back, I can't believe we were there and we're where we are here. But every once in a while I'm like,
Oh yeah, yeah. The software, they said it'll be fun, they said.
I know.
Rachel can talk you into anything, I bet.
I know, right? Yeah, I mean, it's the curse and the blessing.
Yeah. It's been fun to watch, I'll tell you that.
I was gonna say, but every time she's like, "Well, our next," I'm like, "Stop! There's no next." I have PTSD from this one, and it's not done.
It's gonna be years before you get me into another project.
I know. I have to, it's just like pregnancy. You have to like
Yeah.
have the baby and then you have to walk away, have amnesia to get pregnant
A
again.
little more time, and then the labor hits, and you're like,
You're like, what was I thinking? It's always, you always say that after it's too late
Yeah.
to turn back now.
you're in it now. But it's been amazing. It's an amazing product, and I use it like almost every single day. So
I do too. That's what I
oh,
love.
I
yeah.
can't imagine my business without it now. Like I can't think for myself anymore without Page Wheel. Like
So do we have
literally,
to?
I'll sit here trying to think of something to post, and I'm like, I gotta look at Page Wheel because I can't think of
Dang, why
anything.
should I think?
Hey,
It
I
just goes
join
into
you
my
guys
brain.
immensely. It's like Copy Shop has always been to me like Copy Shop, you'll always be my friend, that
Yeah.
song thing.
Yeah.
But now I am finding in the past 5-6 months how the product side is just even more amazing than the Copy Shop. So putting those two together, yes, I do believe I almost use it every day.
Oh yeah, it's
Yay.
true. Yeah.
I love
think
that
And
so
someone
much.
else came, I hate to say this, but I mean, I hate to interrupt, but but I saw a post the other, I don't know, it might have been this morning, about someone who was doing something sort of kind of similar, but not exact, but close enough that looked sort of inviting. And I said, heck, fire no, and scrolled on because I said, why do I even need to look at what you got? Because I have the best. So
True, we do.
And by the way, I really appreciate you guys saying that because like, whew, yeah, it's good. I love to hear it. But the other side of that is I am our next like level of conversations out into the real world. Because to be real honest with you guys, and I think you felt this, like we did not do a big push for customers until a few weeks ago because we didn't feel like you guys give us a lot of grace, and we appreciate that. But like bringing in someone brand new who does not know us and like us and trust us, it would be hard. You know, you come across a bug every once in a while. So, but we feel like we're to the point where we've overcome that obstacle, which is great. So we're doing a push forward. But I would love, and I think I may be doing this in kind of a podcast type thing, is start telling some of your stories about, because I would love to not, and it's not just about Page Wheel, it's about how people are, you know, taking, you know, control of their own business and their own life online, using the tools that are available and just making beautiful stories. That's something that I have on my plate in the near future once we get a few of these other things under, and I just would really appreciate your participation in that. So anyway, I'm going to release you to the world today because I know many of you have homework for the audience growth class and things that you have to do this weekend. And then next week, is next week 4th of July? Okay, next week, Monday, we are meeting, and then Wednesday and Friday are canceled. If you live in the United States, you know why. There's going to be a lot of pool time. There's going to be a lot of barbecues. Hope to have a beer or two. So anyway, but that, like, we'll still be working. We'll still be on intercom. If there's anything you need, it just will be shorter hours and stuff like that. But go enjoy, whether you're in the United States or not, go enjoy your family and your friends and have some fun next week. And I'll see you on Monday normally. So have a good weekend. Bye.
thank you so much.